Welcome everyone. Friday Deep Stretch. This is a 60-minute class, so we'll go to 1 p.m. Pacific time. If you would like to play music during this class, because of the way I have my audio set up, I'm unable to do it, but I will drop the link to the instrumental album that I was playing, just in case you're interested in doing that. You're welcome to play that alongside the class. And that will go in the chat. Also, feel free to let me know in the chat if there's anything you're working with in your body today that I might be able to support any injuries or just something going on that you'd like to address. Otherwise, we'll get started in just a moment. If you have any blocks or straps, a little towel, or anything you can cushion your knees with if you have tender knees, or something to sit on, or anything like blankets, etc., that you might want during our relaxation, take the next moment to have that nearby, as well as some water. We'll be getting into the fascia and some deep tissue, which can always release some toxins, and water is really helpful to help that process play out in a healthy way that doesn't block up our body and our system. During this class, the most important thing is that you listen to your body and take care of you, because the job here is enjoyment, which means that if it hurts or you're having some sort of alarm bell go off in your body, please, please, please make any adjustments. Play with the movement, move out of the posture completely, find what does feel nourishing in your body. There's no right way to move because we're all working with different landscape physically. And we'll start seated. So as you're ready, come to a either cross-legged or sitting on your knees position that allows you to have the spine upright and long. I like to sit on a block to lift my hips. Some folks, it's easier to put some supports under the knees. Whatever provides you enough stability and foundation to be able to balance with an upright spine without having to clench the body during this centering portion of the class. And once you arrive at your seated place with the spine long, take a moment to circle the weight around your seat. So just moving the upper body in little circles. It can be really small too, just to find the flesh that you're sitting on. See if you can locate the sits bones that are pressing down into the floor or the prop beneath you. And you can let the gaze just fall to a point on the floor in front of you as you bring the awareness down into the parts of your body that are getting compacted and pressed down into the floor as you make these little circles, and circle the other direction. Giving our center point, or our perceived point of center, a chance to recalibrate from whatever position we spent the morning in. Check in with the mind, see what's here, what images or thoughts are present and came into practice today. And just noticing and acknowledging them, we already create space and give some freedom to our awareness. And bring the movement to stillness over center, wherever that falls in your body today. Take a big inhale through the nose if it's available, through the mouth if there's some congestion. Letting the belly expand to make room for this large inhale. And do an open mouth exhale, letting out a sigh. And allow the eyes to close completely. Check in with the sound in your space. Once again, just taking in the sensory information, letting the mind calibrate to the environment it's within. And if that sound is simply silence, just notice that. Now begin to deepen the inhale once again, bringing the awareness back to the breath, filling up the lower belly so you're almost grounding even further into the earth or prop beneath you, allowing the ribs to expand, the shoulders to float up to make room for all this oxygen, all this air. And on the exhale, allow the body to completely relax and release all of this air out. Noticing the parts of the body that fall, the parts that contract get smaller. Take 3 more rounds at your own pace of this really intentional, deep, 3-dimensional breath, allowing the body to expand vertically, side to side, as well as front to back. And release the attention on the breath, allowing the breath to return to its natural pace, its natural depth. Bring the hands to touch at heart center, the palms pressing into each other, fingertips pressing into their counterpoint on the other hand. Allow a 1-word intention or quality to arise that you'd like to bring into your practice. It can be something as simple as compassion, relaxation, opening. And if you're a bit indecisive, just grab the first one that comes to mind. We can play with it. To acknowledge and affirm this intention, this quality that we'll bring into our practice, gently bow the head. Release the hand and take on some light with the eyes as they flutter open. Allow the head to rise up to a neutral position, eyes looking forward, noticing what's directly in front of your space. Maybe it's the laptop, maybe it's a wall. Take an inhale, stretch the arms out to the side, circle them all the way up, just until you come to this V shape. And pause here. Allow the strength of your arms to pull your whole rib cage up out of the base. So you're stretching up, reaching tall out of this seated foundation of the legs and the hips. One big in-breath here. On the out-breath, sweep the hands forward and down, resting them on the knees. Inhale, take a big shoulder roll to the back. 2 more of these with the breath. Inhaling the shoulders up, exhaling them down the back body. One more. And pause with the shoulders resting on the back body. Take a couple of neck rolls, letting the ear drop to the right. The chin comes down forward to the chest. Noticing all the muscles this pulls on throughout the head, the back, the shoulders. Bring the ear to the other side. And then really gently lift the chin slightly towards the sky as you lift the crown up and over to the other side. Take 2 more rolls on this side in this direction. Once you've taken 2 rolls to this side, reverse the direction of the circles you're making with your head, rolling to the other side, honoring any differences in the range of motion in this direction. While it's the same body parts moving in a different direction sometimes gives us insight into our range of motion in different directions. And pause with the crown reaching up towards the sky. As you exhale, release the chin down towards the chest. And take 3 breaths here, just allowing the head to release any farther forward on each exhale as it naturally does so. Now take the hand and place it on the back of your neck with the pinky at the base of the skull and your index finger at the base of the neck. You'll have your 4 fingers displayed, turned around to give you a little demonstration of what I mean here. And on an inhale, bring the head back up to a neutral position and notice how much the fingers close. The distance between the pinky and the forefinger closes. As you release the head back down, the fingers spread apart again. This time when you bring the head back up to a neutral position, give the chin a slight tuck in and notice how much less your fingers may move together, giving us a little bit more elongation in the neck, a little bit less of a backward C curve. Invitation is just to keep this slight tuck of the chin, not totally into the neck, but the slight tuck of the chin throughout this practice today, and notice how it changes the feeling of strength and stability in the neck. Remove any props you have underneath you. If you have them, place them to the side and make your way to a tabletop position. Pad the knees if your knees are feeling tender. Option to take the hands to blocks or put the hands in fists for tender wrists. With the hips over the knees, knees hip width distance apart, wrists under the shoulders, hands can be shoulder width or a little bit wider apart. Take an inhale, peel the heart forward between the collarbones, opening up the heart towards the front of your space. And round the back, dumping the back body towards the ceiling, bringing the chin in towards the chest, tailbone tucks under as if you're making this big Halloween cat shape. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Sweep the right leg up and back, toes pointing down, heel reaching back towards the back of your space. On an exhale, bring the knee in towards the nose, navel comes to spine, down the back towards the ceiling, engaging through the core to pull the leg up into the chest. As you inhale, expand out, foot reaches long behind you, heart comes forward between the shoulders. Exhale, curl under, 2 more on this side. Just getting the body warmed up before we move into the stretches, so we're opening up muscles that are awake and alive and ready to move and ready to release. Next time the knee comes to the nose, step the foot all the way between the hands. Look forward on an inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, coming into a low lunge. As you exhale, cactus the arms out to the side, coming into this goalpost shape. Inhale, back off the bend in the lunge, reach the arm towards the sky, tuck the toes under. Engage through both feet, pressing down into the earth to raise the back knee up. Option, just take the back foot in a little bit for a shorter stance. As you exhale, sink down, bending both knees a bit as you sweep the arms forward and down. Inhale, arms come forward and up. Exhale, cactus the arms out as you sink back down into the bend of the knees. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, reach the arms forward and down. 1 more round like this. Inhale, come back off the bend in the knees, reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms out to the side, bend into the knees. Inhale, press down through the feet to reach the arms up, back off of the bend in the knees. Exhale, sweep the arms forward and down. This time, let the knee come all the way back down toward the earth. Place the hands on either side of the right foot. Sweep the right foot up and back, coming back into this 3-legged tabletop. 1 inhale here, spinning the back thigh in towards the center line of the body, and exhale, release the knee to the earth. Make any adjustments to the knees if they've moved around a little bit. Look forward, inhale, sweep the left leg up and back. As you exhale, curl the knee under, engaging through the belly to lift the thigh up into the chest. And inhale, expand out and back. Take 3 more on this side at your own pace. As you expand, engage through the entire back line of the leg from the heel all the way up until the glute. And next time the knee comes under towards the nose, step that left foot all the way through between the hands. Tuck the back toes under, sweep the arms forward and up, coming into a low lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms out to the side. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Tuck the back toes under if they're not already. Engage through both feet to press down, lifting that back right knee up. Pause here. Take the back foot in a little bit if there's any pressure in the hips. As you exhale, sweep the hands forward and bend down into both knees, sinking towards the earth. As you inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. And as you exhale, arms come to goalpost, sink back down. Take 2 more rounds of these motions with the pace of your breath, allowing your breath to dictate the speed in which you're moving. And pause wherever you are, looking up towards the front of your mat or your space towards your left foot. Begin to rock your weight forward and back until you step the right foot up to meet the left. Hands come to rest at heart center. Pause here in this standing shape with the hands connected in front of the heart space. Check in with the feet and notice if there's a misdistribution of weight. Is one foot carrying more pressure than the other? Interesting data to take in as we move forward in the practice. Dip the hands down, take a big inhale, open the arms out to the side, look up towards the sky. As you exhale, take a big wide step out, coming into a wide stance. Toes can turn out any amount. Arms come up to a cactus shape. Bend down into the knees, sinking the root of our torso towards the floor. Give a little tuck of the tail to engage the lower belly and support this shape. Option to bring the feet closer or farther apart to get a good engagement through the inner line of the legs to support this upright goddess squat. As you inhale, reach the heart towards the ceiling, let the elbows come back a bit. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale here, back off the bend of the knees a little bit. As you exhale, sink down into the bend of the right leg. Right elbow comes towards the hip. Left arm reaches far overhead, coming into a side body stretch. So you inhale, come back to center. Even bend on both knees. Exhale, straighten the right leg, bend into the left as you reach the right hand up and over, coming into a right body stretch. Inhaling back through center. 2 more to each side, creating a long line between the fingertips and the toes. Engaging through the core of the belly to support elongation and extension. And check in with the chin. Notice if it's jutting forward, or perhaps it's sunken back into the neck a bit. Invite perhaps a more neutral position, or just play with it. Last time. Next time you're back at center, sink a little bit deeper. Root down into all four corners of both feet. Engage through the back line of the legs all the way up into the base of the pelvis and stand all the way up, extending all limbs out in all directions. And exhale, shake out the arms as they come down. Heel toe the feet in towards each other. Start to sway from side to side, lifting the opposite heel up, allowing the arms to swing and bang against the body if that feels okay on the flesh. Getting a little bit of twisting motion into the upper spine. Make sure it's fully warmed up before we move into some more deeper stretches and movements. Really relax through the jaw. And bring this motion to a pause, letting the arms take their time. Come to the top of your mat or whatever space you're working in. Bring the feet to be hip-width distance apart. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Maybe the fingertips touch. You can look up at them, rooting down through the pelvis into the ground as if you had a third leg reaching out from your tailbone. Exhale, open the arms wide, dive forward. Bend the knees, planting the palms on the earth. Step one foot back, and then the other coming back into a tabletop position. Knees right under the hips once again. Take one hand and flip the fingertips towards the knees. So the palm is facing the other direction. This may be plenty stretch. If you'd like a little bit more stretch in the wrists and the inner forearms, you can bend into that elbow a little bit, using the fingers as leverage. Big deep breaths here, breathing down as if you could send that opening oxygen and air straight to the places where you're feeling the most sensation in the hand or the arm or the wrist. Once again, checking in with the chin and the neck. Noticing where it's moved to accommodate this movement and whether it can come to a more neutral position. And if so, what other parts of the body does that require engagement from to stabilize? Gently release the hands so the fingertips come back towards the top of your mat or your space. Pause between the sides. Big inhale here. As you exhale, release the left palm from the earth or whatever the other hand is, and reach the fingertips towards the knees. Wrist is still right underneath the shoulder. And once again, for a deeper stretch, bend the elbow a bit until you start to feel a nourishing opening sensation in the hand, the underneath of the fingers, the wrist, and up that forearm. Gentle hug of the inner thighs towards each other to engage the inner line of the legs. Notice how this might create more engagement through the belly to support this tabletop shape as the distribution of weight on the hands is different. And release the fingertips back towards their original position, facing forward. On an inhale, sweep the left hand out to the side and up towards the sky, opening up towards the left side of your space. Really press down into the right palm To create as long of a line as possible between the right hand and the left hand. And on an exhale, sweep the left hand down, threading the needle underneath the right forearm, palm facing up, bend into this right elbow until the left side of the head comes to rest on the earth or on the mat. Now check in here, this may be plenty of an opening in the upper back. You can take the right palm, press it down right in front of your face with the elbow towards the sky and engage into the earth here to open up the chest a little bit more to the right. If that feels opening to the upper back body. Option also to take the right toes back, extending the right leg to get a little bit more opening to the side. Couple breaths here. If you've extended the right leg back, rebend the knee and place it back on the earth. Press into the right palm to lift yourself up, sweeping the left hand out and back up to the side. So you reopen towards the left side of your space. And as you exhale, release the left palm back down to the earth. Sit the hips back on the heels. Walk the hands forward, elongating the spine. Instead of coming down, lift the heart forward, noticing how much length this brings as you extend the tail towards the earth and the crown towards the diagonal center of your space. Fingertips can crawl forward. Now walk the hands back towards the knees, coming into an upright spine, sitting on the heels. Toes can be tucked or folded under. Open the knees wide, any amount. Clasp the hands behind the back. This is a great place to use a strap or a towel between the hands too, to get a little bit more space in the shoulders. Reach the knuckles down towards the earth, opening the heart up towards the sky. As you do so, engage the lower belly to press down, to lift yourself up as you press down into the legs, lifting the pelvis forward, getting a stretch through the whole front body, engaging through the lower belly to support extension so we're not falling, collapsing back onto the lower back. 2 breaths here. And sit the hips back onto the heels. Release the grip of the hands. And take a pause, walking the knees in towards each other once again. With the eyes closed, resting the hands on the thighs. Giving a moment of our full attention to the sensations in the shoulders, the collarbones, the chest. Maybe the upper back and the rib cage. Anything where we're feeling some more sensation, even in the stillness. And check in with the position of the neck and the chin. Once again, just noticing where it's chosen to sit. And perhaps playing with inviting a little bit more neutrality and length to the back of the neck, with the tuck of the chin. Bring some light back into the eyes. And lean forward, bringing the palms back to the earth, walking back into a tabletop position. As you inhale, pull the heart forward between the shoulder blades, tailbone tips up towards the sky. As you exhale, curl the tail under, doming the back towards the ceiling. One cat-cow stretch. And then release the spine down to neutral. This time sweeping the right hand out and up, opening the chest towards the right side of your space, pressing down into that right palm to elongate through the line that goes all the way up to the right fingertips. As you exhale, sweep the right hand out and down until it finds its way underneath your left forearm, bending into the left elbow. Allow your right side of your head to come and rest on the earth. And pause here or press firmly into that left palm, lifting the left elbow towards the sky. An option to extend the left leg back with the toes curled under, heel towards the sky, to open up even more towards the left side of your space. And while you're here, engage down with that right arm, pressing down into the back of the hand, the outer arm, the shoulder. This can be a quite active stretch. Opportunity to check in with the mind. If there's any judgment or criticism of any sensations or range of motion in the body, invitation to let that inner voice take a back seat for now, bringing curiosity and playfulness to the forefront. You've extended the left leg, rebend the knee, returning it to the earth. Press down into the left palm to straighten the left palm, or straighten left arm rather, and come back up to a tabletop, sweeping the right arm out and up one more time, looking towards the right side of your space. And release the right palm back down to the floor underneath the left shoulder, or the right shoulder rather. Pause here. Send the hips back down towards the heels. And with the spine long, tail reaching down towards the floor, walk the fingertips forward any amount. Reach the crown up towards the front diagonal corner of your room or your space. Big inhale, seeing if this inhalation can bring any more length. And as you exhale, release the engagement, walking the fingertips back towards the knees until you come back to an upright spine. From here, move your hips to one side of your heels rather, and sweep the feet forward, elongating the legs. And take a couple swings of the weight side to side, finding the sits bones, straightening one leg and then the other. We've had a lot of bent knees today. Now coming to a cross-legged position, take the right leg and cross it over the left so that the left foot is coming under the right knee. Or if the hips allow and this feels opening and nourishing to your hips and your knees, stack the right shin on top of the left shin so that the right foot is up by the left knee on top of it. Left foot is underneath the right knee. Bring the hands to rest on the knees. Take an inhale to grow tall and long. As you exhale, pitch forward any amount till you feel just the right amount of stretch. And the moment you do feel stretch, perhaps pause here and drop the question, is this enough? Is this enough for now? And you may decide, no, you'd like some more. And if that's the case, option 2, walk the fingertips forward. And even as you do so, just like we were when we were sitting on our knees, option 2, really focus the energy on lengthening the spine downwards so the tailbone sends itself straight down towards the floor, crown up towards the sky. At whatever angle will keep a long, straight spine. Option for the next moment or two to release the upper body down over the legs. If this brings too much sensation, stay in this active, elongated spine. And as is the theme of our practice today, check in with the chin and the neck. Noticing where it is now. Honoring the intelligence of our body to make these micro and sometimes very large movements and adjustments in position, depending on where the rest of the body is, to support balance, ease of breath. Inhale the spine all the way up back to an upright vertical position. Take a pause between the sides. And switch the cross of the legs. Stacking the left leg over the right, or crossing the left leg over the right. Once again, letting the hands come to the knees. Take an inhale, using the leverage of the hands on the knees to create even more extension in the back body. And as you exhale, pitch forward any amount until you start to feel a stretch in the left hip flexor. If there's any pressure on the knees, play with the position of the legs. Always option to take props underneath the knees as well. Two more rounds of breath on this side. Using the inhales to send the lower body down deeper into the earth. As if you could grow taller downward. And for the last moment or two, option 2, let the upper body collapse over the legs. Inhale, look forward and carry yourself all the way back up to an upright position. Uncross the legs, reaching the feet out at any angle to either side. Coming back onto the sit bones. Knees can even be bent, not a problem. Flex the toes up towards the face. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Coming into the seated star shape, reaching just as firmly out of the fingertips as you are pressing down into the sits bones and into the heels, engaging the inner legs to lift the knees straight up towards the sky. Big inhale here, and as you exhale, shake the arms out and down. Shake the legs in towards each other. Bring the knees up into the chest and give yourself a big squeeze. Maybe you even lift the feet off the earth. And release the legs, extending them long. Using the strength of your core, one vertebrae at a time, begin to roll yourself down onto your back. Once you found yourself here, take a moment to allow the spine to adjust, the blood flow to reorient. And then notice the curve of the neck and the position of the chin here. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky, and then up and overhead, reaching them long behind you. Point the toes forward, getting a full front body stretch. Flex the toes up towards the sky, engaging through the back line of the body. And release all engagement. Slowly roll yourself over to one side, eventually coming onto the belly in a prone position. Have the arms outstretched wide into a T shape, palms facing down. Bend the right elbow up towards the sky and plant the right palm underneath the right shoulder. And press into the earth to roll yourself over onto the left side with the left arm still outstretched behind you. So the legs are stacked, feet are stacked, left palm pressing behind you into the earth, right palm pressing down to support this roll to the side. Coming into this inner shoulder stretch. This may be plenty. If you'd like a little more, option to bend the right knee and plant the right foot behind the left leg, opening up through the pelvis towards the left side as well. This is sort of the opposite stretch of what we got when we were threading the needle in tabletop. If you've bent the right leg and placed the right foot on the floor, give a gentle press into the earth so that there's still some engagement through the legs. Sometimes we can get an even more nourishing stretch as long as we are engaging through other parts of the body to support the foundation of the position while the isolated section gets its opening. And if you have bent the right leg, release it back down to stack on top of the left. And slowly roll yourself back onto your belly. Extend the right arm out to the right, planting the right palm into the earth. And pause here before changing sides. And as you're ready, plant the left palm underneath the left shoulder. Use that to ground down into the hand as you roll yourself over to the right, leg stack. And you can even use your fingertips of the right hand to walk your arm out even farther behind you. Option to stay here or to bend the left knee and plant the sole of the left foot behind the right leg. Check in with the neck if there's any tension, if you're really pressing your head down into the earth. Try a couple subtle movements of the head up and down, left to right, until you find a place that brings a little bit more ease into the neck. Release this tension from around the jaw and the back of the head. If you've chosen to bend the left leg, release the bend, straightening the leg to stack on top of the right, and slowly, using the strength of your left arm, roll forward, back down onto the belly. This time, reach both hands in front of you long so the arms are stretched overhead. Use the fingertips to walk the arms as far as they'll go, getting a stretch through the outer shoulder blades and the armpits. Deep breath here. And then walk both hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Press into the hands to send the hips back. Coming into a puppy stretch or child's pose. Look forward as you shift forward, coming back down onto the belly. And roll yourself over onto your back. Bend the knees towards the ceiling, placing the feet on the floor, and walk the heels a little bit closer towards the sit bones, still hip width distance apart. Palms pressing down into the earth on either side of the hips. You can lift up on the shoulders a bit and walk the shoulder blades under if they're a little curved out towards the sides of your body. Getting a nice flat plane across the back shoulders, pressing into the earth. Press into the feet as you begin to lift the pelvis slowly up towards the sky, any amount engaging through the back line of the legs as well as the inner line of the legs, as if you have a block between your legs that you're squeezing together. Coming into a bridge. If you do have a prop like a pillow or a block available, place that underneath the sacrum, coming into a supported bridge position with the tail resting on top of the prop. Option to remain here, or if you'd like a little bit more of an inversion, you can lift one foot up towards the sky and then the other coming into a supported shoulder stand. You're at home and don't have a prop, you can always send the legs up a wall as well. As you inhale, elongate through the entire back body. So once again, we're looking at that extension between the crown of the head and the tail, even in this inverted place. Two more cycles of breath. And if you've lifted the legs, bend the knees and place one foot and then the other back onto the earth. Fire up through the legs and the glutes to press down into the earth, lifting the tail up off of the prop and placing it to the side. And then slowly giving your spine time to adjust as it moves. Roll back down until the whole spine, all the way till the tail is resting on the floor. Walk the feet out to mat width distance apart. And begin to windshield wiper the knees back and forth gently. Then pause with both knees towards the sky. Lift the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze, coming into a seed position on the back. One deep inhale here. And as you exhale, release everything down towards the floor, extending the legs long, arms long. And find your way to final resting posture that works in your body. So if you have any tenderness in the low back, you can bend the knees towards the sky and let them knock in towards each other so they can not have to be working to stay upright. Cover up with any layers you have. And allow the eyes to close if they're not already. And here, once again, bring the awareness to the back of the neck, the position of the head and the chin. And if there's room for adjustment, for more neutrality and ease, make that movement now. As you allow the awareness to drift down to the breath, give the body permission to let go. to take this time to integrate the opening, the shifting, the stretching that we've done, and to receive the full benefit, the full adjustment of the practice. Holding the breath as an anchor, let the gravity of the space above you hold you down, anchoring you, your physical body down to the floor beneath it. And I'll return in a few moments to guide you out of this relaxation. Knowing that you can remain here for as long as you'd like, as long as you are able, getting rest and integration from the week beyond just this practice. If you're ready to rise, bring some movements into the extremities, wiggling the fingers, the toes. Take a couple face stretches. And as you're ready, roll to one side, curling into a fetal position, knees in towards the chest, with the arm that is closest to the floor outstretched to give your head a pillow to rest on. And from this place of potential, the sideways seat position, honor all the work and space you have carved out and put in to honor your body, your being, your awareness, and our community, just by showing up here. And press one palm into the floor, bringing yourself up to a seated position. Bringing the hands to touch at heart center, ending where we began. Gently bow the head. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming to practice, for being willing to open together in this space. And take on some light with the eyes and welcome to the rest of your day. As always, please let me know what worked, what didn't in the chat. I love feedback. And have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Mm.